what's up, everyone? It's Pisces Pixie. Hey. So, I have a spirit message that wanted to come through, and I hope this finds whoever needs to hear it. I hope it gets there. So, there's been a period of time where like y'all have been getting very tested and feeling very challenged. You know, there's some really big obstacles coming up in your life. Some of it's health, some of it's burnout related, some of it's just like trying to understand the foundations of your life better, and some of it is just really needing a lot of your patience. You really had to go through a period of time where had to be really patient with yourself, recognizing that the results that you want don't always come really easily or on the timeline that you want it. So there's been a huge time, or at least an invitation, to really work with self-acceptance and patience, and really getting back in touch with your own unique timing. Not all of the anxious timing, fear timing, and worry that the world sometimes like hooks us into, but your own sense of peace, your own sense of what's just right for you right now. Sometimes that's settling for something a little bit more peaceful. Sometimes that is settling for something that is a little bit more quiet. And for those of you who are settling for something a little bit more quiet, there might be a really huge purging of previous identities or previous ideas, previous selves that may have gotten very attached to the idea that all you need to do is just summon up more motivation, more charisma, more energy to just get through whatever your current dealing is. Whatever, if you've just been taught to just summon up more energy to make it through, it kind of feels like spirit isn't, or the world isn't, your soul's evolution isn't really letting that happen, so you've had to really squarely face something about yourself, about your life. But you're coming out of this heavy period of time, this drained period of time. Some of you mentally, maybe not even, you didn't know what was going on. Like, it feels like some of you guys, like, your energy was being worked on, some things were being worked on that you didn't realize, and all you knew was that you felt drained. Some of you may have been, the situations that you're going through, but you're coming out of the other side of this now, this draining period. And one of the things that was coming through is that sometimes, you do really have to be aware of burnout and what burnout is for you. And for some of you, this is understanding what emotional burnout looks like, and compassion fatigue. And compassion fatigue is a term coined by this like service industry, especially healthcare, where because they are giving and giving and giving from a really, usually like a part of themselves, they're giving emotionally, they're giving their care. You do, if that is not being regulated, if that is not balanced, you end up no longer caring. You end up depleted, you end up confused, you end up just not sure what the hell is going on. And burnout is something that many of you is like an obstacle in your life right now, something that has to be considered. Whether some of you are starting out some new opportunities and new ideas that want to start taking root, burnout is something that you're always going to have to consider. So making sure that the way you go about things isn't going to burn you out. making sure that sometimes like you're doing things in a more simple way, doing a small act towards what it is that you want in a small way every day, rather than trying to do like 7 hours dedicated to it at a weekend or 5 hours. More like, could you do 30 minutes, after you brush your teeth or after you eat your cereal or, when you get home from work, whatever that looks like. Some of you haven't realized though that you have been chronically, this is coming through now, chronically burnt out because you are so emotionally giving, and you're giving so much of yourself, so much of your kindness and generosity, and it will burn you out. And there are some important decisions happening for everybody right now about their long-term future, about their career path. I kept getting a sense of like a new career or a new way of approaching how you're wanting to either do your current job, or how like an attitude shift in your current career path. I'm gonna be honest, I do feel like there's a lot of new beginnings starting to happen. So if y'all are starting to feel, again, because you're coming out of like a bit of a dark night of the soul, or a little bit of a dark period, you're coming out of that now, and you still have to be aware of burnout. But there are some new career choices and new opportunities starting to present themselves. So listen to any new callings that start to emerge, whether it's starting to hit record on a YouTube video, or whether that is to look at certain career paths that maybe you might be interested in, and having maybe a little bit of looking into your ideas of how you want to start, and again, keeping in mind that like this does not have to be a fixed thing. Please, 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 please let go of the idea that you have to have this whole plan figured out. You need to find this like gentle stop for yourself. And I was getting a lot of messages about how for some of you, you are burning out because you're so wrapped up in anxieties and fears about how you're going to start, or what your career path is, and how you're going to like sustain your life. And Spirit kept telling me that right now, like energetically on the world and on this planet, there's a lot of psychic energies and messaging heightening humanity's fear around lack of resources, and making you feel like you have to do everything by yourself. And Spirit kept showing me you taking this energy, all this energy you're carrying, all this anxiety, all this fear that's been generated, and going to the earth and like letting the world hold the world's problems, rather than you holding the world's problems on you. And it was really interesting, because then I kind of got this like visualization, I got this imagery of something that I did over the last week, because I've been going through a similar process. I had to take some space and time away from everything, and part of that does kind of feel like you're dying, like parts of your personality, your ego kind of get reworked when you are a chronic warrior and are chronically fearful about your future, or you're chronically anxious about what the hell you're doing. And I sat and kind of looked out at a canyon, and I kind of just like let it take it. I was like, will you just like hold this for me? Because I'm really small and they're really big. And it just kind of felt like, woo, like, woo, will you take this for me, please? And it did, and I felt this like huge weight lift off, and I was like, thank you. And then that came through as a message as I'm recording now of like, some of you are energetically taking on like the world's problems, the economics system, bigger than you, babe. The world's economics, the housing situations, the different things that are going on this planet. They're not yours to be energetically carrying at every minute, every moment of the day. You need to let the world carry its problems. And my cat's just meowed. So I'm taking that as confirmation. I'm taking that as confirmation. So let the world carry it and let it take it on. Because there is a lot of messy psychic energies going around, and some of it's very valid, these bigger systems that and these are real things that are real worries and do point to a real lack of resources, but it's not healthy for you to carry and anxiously spin and not know where to put that. It needs to be put. So go hug a tree. For me, being in the mountains was like amazing. If that's not possible for you, maybe like a park, or just some kind of nature. Make that effort for yourself if you can, because it helped a lot. And a lot of you listening to this, you're gonna be sensitive too. And there is a lot of messaging, psychically, spiritually, in the news, in media, that tells us that, this is like on us and we've got all of these things to worry about. And sometimes we do have to consider like how the world provides. And this isn't in like Delulu land dissociated, way of like, oh, the world is going to provide for you, so don't do anything. No, like think of farming. Like you plant seeds in the earth and you tend to them and the earth provides food. This is not Delulu manifestation dissociated messy energy. We're talking about reality. The reality of the earth does provide a lot of materials. All of the stuff you're looking at around your space has been made by the earth. The stuff your phone is made out of, the stuff your computer is made out of, all of those things have been like mined or taken from the earth's resources, and it's like there is this veil in a way. It's like placed over, and like we kind of forget the very planet we're on, and there is, I don't want to sound conspiracy, but I do feel like there is active forces trying to dissociate us from the planet and where our resources come from and who really holds our energy. So take those burdens that are on your heart and bring them to a valley, bring them to the sea, and sit with it. Don't just spend 5 minutes, spend 10 minutes and let it and feel it, and for those that, are, let yourself feel it, let it take it from you and give it thanks and say thank you and remember that, and don't let the world or your mom or opinions of people try and kid you or misrepresent that to you. I may laugh at it, haha. That is real. And you are reorientating into a new level or new levels of how you live in your own life and how you embody your own life. And the time is now for you to practice, experiment with planting seeds. Please take time to rest, especially those who are a little bit more burnt out. You will not get away with pushing through it, waiting for a break. Take the invitation that is being offered to you is to reconnect. That technique of just pushing through it, it may have worked, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe even 2 years ago. But have you noticed how it's not working anymore? Things, no matter how spiritual you are, how spiritual you're not, whatever, there is a process, a deeper process happening with people. So, and these are really important times on this planet. And you have a good journey ahead of you, you know. Once you let the world, let the earth take all that heaviness, you can start to, you know, you're coming out of that darkness now, and you can feel the air on your skin, and you can start to follow those new ideas and those glimmers of care, and those glimmers of what brings you joy again. And you know, when you're burnt out again, because burnout was an important thing, you know, when you're burnt out, it really can rob you, drain you, and make it physically impossible, like biologically, for you to feel that way, to feel those joys. So please, you need to take a vacation. You may need to do a bit deeper work for some of you. You may really need to take a step back and do less and take a break. Recognizing too, like, that's not always physically. If you're energetically expending because you're anxious, overthinking, worrying, you do need to take a break from that too, you know, because some of you are burning yourself out, generating this energy and getting stuck in that loop of worry and fear and anxiety. And then that gets too much, then you get avoidant and dissociative, and then you get sad because you've not done anything, and you feel hopeless and helpless and bad, and then you feel like crap. You don't love yourself anymore, and then you start judging yourself, and then the shame comes in. You need a break from all that. You don't need to carry all of that, and that whole process is really ready to start easing up. It's been easing up for a while, but there's a big, for some of you, this is going to be like night and day. Some of you, this might be more gradual. But yeah, there's a new gig coming. There's some new ideas. There's some new opportunities that are coming your way. New ideas that are ready to be nourished. And some of you, there's going to be a new career path that might need your decision, or again, like a new approach towards your career that may have followed either some kind of drastic change, surprise, or enacted change that you decided if you decided to step away, or decided like, I need to stop worrying, I need to not be so involved, I need to move away from all this, all that identity or ego that needs to be shared, that's happening too. So anyway, this has been my first message for a while. So I hope it helps whoever's still listening. Thank you for your time. I hope this was helpful. Leave a like, leave a comment. I love to read them. I love seeing your names. If you'd like to check out more of my content, you can do over on Patreon. We host a tarot night every month, and we do a spread of the month, and you bring your own deck, and it's for as little as $9. We have a cheap tier, $9, or if you can pay more, you can pay at $30. But it's a really cool little group, and I also post bonus spirit messages. I do a ton on Patreon, but I'm not very good at promotion. It's always the weird thing about the social media stuff. Like, yeah. But anyway, I appreciate you. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I hope your dark night of the soul is dissolving. And yeah, welcome in those new changes, and just be patient. Just be patient with yourself, and go dump all that energy on the canyon where it will accept it. It wants to take it, not like landfill, but like an absorber. Okay, all right. Appreciate you. Goodbye.